It's going to be much worse than this year. Record job losses. You saw what happened yesterday. 533,000 jobs lost in the month of November. Worse since 1974. And I promise you December's even going to be worse because we've already seen all the initial cuts. So, Tim Kaine's doing a great job. My argument's got to be, you can't keep cutting the budget, and you can't raise taxes. And I took a firm stand. I took the hardest stand of anybody to debate. You don't raise taxes in a down economy. It is the absolute worst thing you can do. So what do? You got to grow the economy. You got to create jobs, and we got to create jobs all over the state. We should go to South Side and Southwest. The average pay there is $27,000. Let's go out and create jobs. In the last 20 years, Virginia has not been able to get what you call a mega deal. $16 billion worth of deals in the last 15 years have gone to 5 southern states. We haven't been on that list. You know why? We haven't even attempted to go after those deals because with the House of Delegates, you can't get the incentive package out, you can't get the bonding done, and they're going to other states. Well, you know what? If the BMW plant had come here, $1 billion, that's 5,000 jobs. Average pay, $51,000, full health care benefits. If we had gotten the Thyssen Crump deal, $4 billion, 4,000 jobs, average pay, $56,000. I promise you this, if I run and I get elected governor, we're not only going to not lose jobs, I want to win all 10 of every job. And I would hate to be my young staffer had to come into me and say, Governor, we lost a deal in another state. I want to win them all. I've done it my whole life. I've started businesses. I've started 27. I've done little deals. I've done $1 million deals. I've had thousands of employees. They've always had health care benefits. We got to help people all over here. You want more money for education? You want more money for health care? You got to have money. This is not a complicated formula, folks. You need to grow the economy. You need revenue. So maybe in this race, there's room for someone who hasn't been in the legislature who comes in with some different ideas. Education will be very clear. I think Tim Kaine's pre-K initiative is really one of the smartest things ever done. If you believe the studies, 90% of brain development is done by the time you are 4 years old. Now I could send all my kids, I could afford to pre-K, but why shouldn't every child be able to go get pre-K? Spend more money K through 3. You need to spend more, not less. We should reduce the class sizes from 21 down to 15. Why? Because in those early ages when these things are happening. And you know here, I met with the Virginia Education Association the other day, you know what they told me? They determine here in Virginia how many people don't pass, how many young kids do not pass the 3rd grade reading proficiency. And you know what? The Bureau of Prisons determines from that number how many prisons they will need in 15 years. Now, that, folks, is one reason why we should be putting all the money we can in those early years. 20% of our students don't graduate from high school. You know what? If we spend more money on the front end, it saves you money on the back end. Half of our prisons today in Virginia are populated by those that haven't graduated from high school. So you know what? Put more money in. Transportation. I called the other day, we ought to have high-speed rail. Let's start out from Northern Virginia, down to Richmond, over to Hampton Roads. We're not going to have high-speed rail unless we start talking about it today. Public-private partnerships. We've got to get people off the roads. Today, the roads are every man for themselves, or every woman for themselves. I had to come down for a meeting the other day, Sunday, 4 hours and 10 minutes to drive from McLean to Richmond the other day. Got to get people off the roads. And we know what? We got to put revenue on the table. You can't raise revenue in a down economy, but you know what? Let's have the courage to talk about it. Tim Kaine has tried to do it. A general session, 2 special sessions in 2006, came back, we had a package in 07, the Supreme Court here said no, it's unconstitutional. Governor Kaine brought everybody back 6 months ago. Not one single thing got done on transportation. You got to start serving the people who elected you. We've got to stop the bickering partisan fight. We got to think big, bold, and out of the box, but we got to compete, and it's a tough economy. So education, transportation, the last thing I'll say, I agree with Creed Deasy. We have got to have a big energy economy. Barack Obama is going to spend $150 billion on green jobs. We better get those green jobs here. We should be the incubator for green energy. But you know what? I said it the other day, we got to be honest about it. We need a mandatory renewable energy standard here in Virginia. Today it's voluntary. We should be like 26 other states. Make it mandatory. Because you know why? As a business person, if you're in this, and I've actually done wind farms, I've done biodiesel plants. I was just up with Mayor Fitz the other day in Warrenton, putting him together. He's trying to make all Warrenton self-sufficient on alternative energy sources. If you're not mandatory, the money will not come here because they say you're not serious about it. So let's get serious. Second thing I'd call for, every public building in Virginia should become green. Change the windows, put solar panels, do the green roofing, and you know what? We'll save tremendous amount of money if we do it. It is 54,000 jobs if you actually go over to a green economy. But you know what, folks? Unless you put that on the table. So how do you get it done? You go in, big ideas. Finally, let me say this. As I say, I will be all positive. I will have some issues with Bob McDonald. It's not great being governor of this state if you don't have the House of Delegates in the same political party as you. I think I speak for all the candidates. We need to win those 6 House of Delegate seats. This is our time to do it. If I decide to run, I will make this commitment to you. I will make sure that our coordinated campaign is the biggest grassroots, has the resources so that we compete. And I believe that you should compete in all 136 counties and cities across the Commonwealth of Virginia. You don't leave anyplace else. You take the message out there, you fire it up, you be positive. So, in conclusion, thank you. You ought to see me when I really get going. I haven't made up my mind, and I know a lot of you in this room have already made up your mind you're supporting someone. I think that's great. This is what the Democratic Party is all about. Let's all get together, and no matter what happens, the final commitment I'll make to you, and I have had many jobs, I have traveled the world, I was an ambassador in Korea in 1993, I've been everywhere, traveling, fighting for this party and the issues that matter. If I'm in or out, I am here to help you win the House delegates and to make sure that we make sure that the Democrat wins the governor's race. I will be there with my money. I will be there with my support. I am there for you, one way or the other. This is my home. I love Virginia. This is where I decided to bring up my 5 children. Thank you for giving me.